Hi, it's Realtor Bert Taddei. And here's another educational video in a series that I like to call Sipping Coffee or Tea with Realtor Bert Taddei, where we maneuver through the hype, the hoopla, and even the media negativity surrounding our real estate industry. So this is an educational video series, and we're in the midst of a really cool topic, which are real estate trends, the market trends. So first video was about current market conditions and trends. The second one was analyzing local market data. I gave you some really nice data about the city of San Antonio. If you haven't seen that video yet, I encourage you to watch it. And this one is going to be about forecasting future market trends. And then the last video in the series, a four-part series, is going to be impact of economic factors on real estate. So let's get into today's topic of forecasting future market trends. So I'm not going to give you a whole lot of data about each of these sections. I do have GDP numbers and that kind of thing, but gross domestic product in San Antonio was 121 billion in 2018, right? What does all that mean? Well, tell you what, let's go over the what you're going to be looking for in terms of market trends, and then let's have a discussion, you and I, offline, and let's see how all this translates into whether or not it's time to buy and or sell a house. That's it. Let's just open a dialogue based on that. But this video is, of course, meant to be informative and some of the things to look out on the broader picture, right, on a broader scope. So the first one is economic projections we're going to talk about, which are analyzed, economic forecasts from reliable sources to anticipate how broader economic conditions might affect the real estate market. Ooh, what does that mean? Well, basically, find credible sources and find out how that's going to perhaps impact the real estate market in which you're looking to buy and or sell. You're going to want to consider factors like gross domestic product growth, inflation, and consumer confidence. So the second one is interest rate predictions. Now, this is all over the place, right? Here we are in July of 2024. And I must tell you that there is a lot of conflicting data going on. We have a really, really interesting interest rate environment. And by interesting, I mean a lot higher than what we saw, during the pandemic years, right? There was all this pent-up demand because there was a shortage in housing, right? Not enough people wanted to list their homes for sale, but you had a ton of buyers. Why? Because the interest rates were so ridiculously low, right? They were artificially suppressed to try to stimulate the economy because of what the pandemic did to us, right? Shutdowns and lockdowns and all this kind of stuff, right? You remember what that was like, 2-3 years ago. Mask mandates, couldn't go to church to go or synagogue to go worship, stuff like that. I just don't even get me started. I don't even want to talk about that subject. It's not about that, but let's just say that there are a lot of dissenting opinions about interest rates. So then the interest rates were hovering between 6.5% to 7.15%, right? A lot of this going on, right? Up and down, up and down. Oh, but the Fed, they're going to lower rates, which you and I both know that they impact, their decisions impact the overnight funds rate. They set that. They don't set the mortgage rates, but that's in lockstep closer to the 10-year Treasury, which is related to the overnight funds rate. So it's all intertwined, right? So that's how they tamp up the demand and how they stimulate the economy by raising and lowering rates, right? So interest rate predictions have been all over the place. They were supposed to lower rates 3 times at least this year in 2024, and here we are in the middle of summer think their next meeting is this month in July. I want to say the 11th of July, something like that. Let's see what they say, right? The FOMC, the Fed, Federal Open Market Committee. Let's see what they decide. I think they're either going to leave rates the same, but now they're talking about possibly raising rates to make sure that they can get inflation under control. And that's why they started raising rates to begin with, right? And a couple of years back, they said, hey, if you're looking to buy a house, don't buy right now. It's not a good time to buy a house. Well, that does a lot of things to the real estate market, right? So that's what we're talking about, these trends. So stay informed about Federal Reserve policies and predictions regarding interest rates, as changes can directly impact mortgage rates and buyer activity. So the one thing I can tell you, and I'll let you figure this out on your own, deduce that based on the information I'm giving you in this 4-part video series about real estate market trends. But I'm telling you right now, the lower the interest rate, the higher the demand. Higher the demand, the more competition for houses. Okay, and the more you're going to have to overpay for houses. Okay, the lower the demand, excuse me, the higher the interest rate, the lower the demand, right? That's where we find ourselves right now, right? It's lower demand. We talked about that in the last video. If you haven't seen video number 2, again, check that out. Number 3 is housing supply trends. Monitor new construction activity and the permits that are being pulled, right? The construction permits to predict future changes in inventory. That's one way to do it, and also consider zoning changes and urban development plans that could influence supply as well. So number 4, demographic shifts. Pay attention to demographic trends such as aging populations, migration patterns, and household formation rates, which can affect housing demands as well. So listen, I've talked about this in other videos. Literally every day in America, 10,000 people turn 65 years old. What does that mean? Well, number 1, if they're in a trophy home, or they're in the house in which they raise their children, they're empty nesters now. They don't need 3,000 square feet, 3,500, 4,000. Trophy homes, 8,000 square feet. They don't need it, right? The aging population, they're looking to downsize probably, and in doing so, they're going to also have an aging housing stock, because a lot of those houses haven't been renovated in, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of a decade or something like that. Who knows, right? So there'll be a demand for renovation, right? So which could keep a lot of those renovation companies busy as well. So migration patterns, we kind of touched on that briefly during the last video as well. So that's number 4, demographic shifts, now in forecasting future market trends. The last one on the list of forecasting future market trends is number 5, which are technological advancements. So be aware of emerging technologies that could influence the real estate market, such as advancements in smart home technologies and sustainable building practices. So all very, very good data, very good information. And just remember that if you want to talk about migration patterns, it's something that I personally study. I love to work with relocation clients. I just spoke to a gentleman that is from Valparaiso, Indiana this afternoon, and he's looking to move to the Bulverde Spring Branch area. He's on some land right now, and he would like for his next home to also have some land. So he'll be selling a house over there in Indiana and moving here. We're going to meet each other in person for the first time on Friday, I think. Looking forward to having breakfast with him and kind of showing him around some of the areas. He's very familiar with this because he used to spend his summers in New Braunfels. Why am I sharing this with you? Because, hey, migration patterns, right? Not just, those are domestic migration patterns, people moving into Bexar County and out of Bexar County. But guess what? When they're moving out of Bexar County, they're typically staying here in Texas. It's interesting, thing that I found out in my research. But by staying informed with these market trends and understanding their implications, we believe that real estate professionals like myself, I'm a real estate broker and owner of Santino Properties LLC, we can better advise our clients. and help them make strategic and informed decisions about the dynamic real estate marketplace. Hopefully this has been interesting for you. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and let me know what you think about my videos, good and bad. Listen, I'm a grown man, I can take it. So leave me your comments below. I'd like to know what you think about my topics and some of the things that we're talking about in these video series, because this has been sipping coffee or tea with Realtor Bert Taddei, and this is an educational video series about the real estate market, and this topic on this 4-part series are real estate market trends. Hopefully this has been interesting for you. Thanks for watching my video. Be sure to like and subscribe.